The Spiders are on the move as we return to Bailey Stadium. They've got it 1st and 10 at the Wonder 15-yard line, and we understand now there were 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter, so definitely the last play of the period here.
I don't think Concord can go away from this offense right now.
Oh, Graham is bumped and bumped forward for about 5 yards.
He wasn't bumped, he was collision.
Collision? That's a new word.
He was collision. There's bumps and there's collision. That one caused the bruise right there.
And he picked up, well, actually, they're going to say 4.
But his feet were moving, and when he got bumped up for about 5 yards.
Nothing has been decided in the first 12 minutes at Bailey Stadium as they'll swap ends, and we will be back with more of our TV 13 playoff coverage in just a minute.
Randy, as we come back here, the cheerleaders are into this game. I think everybody that's got something to shake, rattle, and roll. They're doing it tonight.
Well, that's Paul Christie's got his team focused. First quarter stats for you, total offense. Kannapolis was 17 rushing, 6 passing for 23, and Concord has not done anything passing. They attempted 1 pass, and it was intercepted, but they have rushed for 47 yards in the first quarter, and it has been kind of even balance between Graham and Massey.
It really has been, and it may be that's what Coach Smith's trying to do is balance that out, and he's just sweeping right and sweeping left. There's nothing fancy about that. It's just who can knock who out of the way there.
You see number 44, David Damon, lining up on the right corner there. Normally a linebacker, and here goes Graham up the middle to the 5.
And a little deception out of it where they cut it back in just a little bit tighter instead of taking it all the way out to the sweep. They started that way and then ran a little cutback in the middle.
Kannapolis calling one timeout. So defense can adjust. You practice that veer against the veer practice.
When you get them, you know, you start that look. You give the mindset of outside, 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 and then all of a sudden you bend it back to the inside. It makes it a tough play to stop.
Robinson loses it on the snap, and Lanny Gray makes him pay for it. The nose guard came in to make the stop at the 5. I don't know if he made the first down or not. They're saying 3rd down.
It looks like that he might have even lost a little bit on it. Maybe right back to the line of scrimmage right back there. I think he pulled out just a little bit early right there, maybe, and dropped that exchange at the center.
It's going to be 4th down, and it's decision time. And Concord has called a timeout. 4th down and less than maybe a foot. And we'll see what that decision is when we return here to Bailey Stadium in just a minute. As we return, 11:03 to go in the first half. No score. Concord with a major decision right now. Larry Mason, 4th and inches at the 5-yard line. And E.C. Smith has told his troops what to do.
I think we'll see Robinson sneak for it right here. I'll be surprised if we don't. I think that Kannapolis may know that too. They're probably going to send some folks right into that gap right there.
They got everybody tight. And Robinson tosses it to Graham. Left side. He'll take it in. Touchdown Concord. And no penalty markers are down.
It's just a big run right there. As they take the toss out to Graham. And he stretches it out so you can see the hole right there and brings it back in for the TD. As we see it right here, he cuts it back, Randy, and gets it in the end zone.
5-yard run with about 11 minutes to go in the first half, and the Spiders are on top. It capped 70-yard drive and 11 plays, and it was impressive. Walters to hold, Otney to attempt the extra point. It's up, and it is out on Brent Hugh Drive. 7-0. Spiders kickoff coming out. Welcome back to Bailey Stadium. And the first punch has been delivered in this one.
First blood, maybe. We'll see where it goes from here. Concord right now certainly got the momentum on their side.
But we saw what Keenan Lott can do to open the game, and he almost took it back. So that's something they've got to look for. I don't believe they're going to kick it to you. They got him and Lipscomb back there, and those guys could make it tied up in just a minute.
It just sort of in the blink of an eye.
We're going to have to wait on the national television audience to get back. Now we're ready to go here. Peter Rodney.
I tell you, I've never seen so many. Everybody with a camera, I think, got it here tonight.
Rodney with a deep, boy, he knocked the fire out of it. Inside the 5 at about the 3, here's Keenan Light. Coming big side of the field. 15, bumped up at the 20-yard line, and there may have been a fumble. Is it? Let's see. They're going to say Kannapolis ball. The ground cannot cause a fumble.
No, he came up, and that was a big hit right there. And I was just looking, Chandler came up and really knocked him off his wheels right there, Randy.
Keenan's not your biggest guy out there to take on. He's only 150 pounds, 5'9". He's not used to lowering his shoulder and taking him straight up.
No, but he'll get in there and play tough with you also.
All right, does Kannapolis stay with their game plan now, or you look for Coach Harden to go to the passing lanes a little bit more?
No, not yet. And certainly no, it's not time to go away from what you believe in and what he came here to do.
3 wide, and here's the pitch to Barnes. Hemmed up in the backfield. He'll be caught for a loss. It was Jamie Udy, 63, coming through.
And that play just never got started right there.
Going to the short side of the field, those guys in position, they just don't have as much room to cover.
No, and Concord, they came back off of that touchdown right there, Randy, really pumped up and fired up, and they're playing tough right here.
Michael Barnes with 1,466 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 9 games over 100 yards on the season. So the young man won't get him like that very often. As Slot is checked in at tailback, the play fake. Smith burns it down the sidelines. 1-on-1, incomplete. Good battle at about midfield.
And actually, the defensive back and the receiver both were kind of making adjustments on the ball. Both of them had a shot at catching that one right there because they were both adjusting to the ball being thrown right there.
Tyson Black battling with Marlon Hall that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down. And I think about 12 or maybe 13.
You know, the one thing that Coach Harden's not going to do, he's not going to panic. He's been here before, and he's been around these big games and the title games. So I think he'll stick with the things that his team does best.
They'll send 2 wide. There you see him at the top of your screen. 1 wide to the bottom. And work it out of the eye once again at the 20-yard line. Play fake, and Smith rolls. Comes up in the pocket, zips it downfield, incomplete, almost intercepted. It was tipped by the intended receiver. They had 2 receivers over there. Tyson Black almost had a pick.
Really was, and Tyson just really stayed in his zone right there. But, you know, it's a cold night, but that ball had some heat on it right there. There was some smoke coming off of that one.
Andy's a pretty good baseball pitcher as well, and we saw
Well, I think you just saw his fastball.
And we're going to see his leg now as he'll be forced to punt. And Concord should get decent field position out of this. And Staten is the deep back at about midfield. There's Andy Smith, the punter. And a high snap once again. He sails up. You got to get it high. He's 6'4.5". Robert Staten doesn't touch it, and it takes a wonder roll. And we'll go dead at about the 40-yard line.
And that one's a little bit dangerous because that one came down between all those Concord players. Had it touched one, that could have been a fumble right there.
Those kick coverage guys could just pick it up on the bounce and
taking it on in because everything in high school football just about can be advanced, and I'm sure Coach Smith will speak to him about that. Randy, have you ever seen so many people on the sideline with cameras and microphones and talking to everybody? These guys want to see what going this far does for you. It gets you a lot of coverage, doesn't it?
Got a little attention to those folks down back up there.
It really has.
And the 40-yard line. Robinson fakes the toss and will cut it up the middle. He's dangerous. He's in the scene and out to the wonder 25.
And there's the difference that maybe he might make in this ball game because that's that little reverse spin out move that the quarterback from Concord has worked for years. And the thing that he makes it go for is he can run that cutback.
That extra dimension. You got a quarterback that can run it. Boy, I tell you, it's like having 12 men on the field, isn't it?
Well, it's really like having that 4 running backs back there and not one that you see him pitch it, toss it, hand it off, and now all of a sudden here he is running. Yeah, hey, what is this?
First down, and here we go. Graham loses his footing as he makes his cut. Got about a yard, maybe 2 that time, to the 43 of the Wonders.
And I know that any coach, and I know the things that used to cause us the most problems was a team that we had to face that had a quarterback that could run the football, and usually that was Concord, and that you had to go in and know that their quarterback was going to be one of those guys you had to stop, and you can't stop all of them all the time.
Truly a chess match out there of defense against offense. They've got Canada in black split to the top, Staten to the bottom. Second down, they will go to the run. Massey leaps over one man, and that is just collared. Meisenheimer. He was shoved back.
And that's a big hit. Of course, Meisenheimer's played super all year long. We've seen him just play great all year. Both the linebackers from Kannapolis just doing a super job this year.
Third down, and they need the 35-yard line for the first down. Kannapolis defense giving up, as we said, only about 190 yards a game. And they'll go to the tee. And the Wonder defense will hold this time. Not much of any. As they were waiting on that one. The coaches made the adjustments. Oh, probably you don't know who's going to get it. It's eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
No, it's, it looks like it's just a simple offense, but the thing is they can take the football back there and then they can bring back some cross-buck trap type action out of it. Mostly Concord's just lined up and tried to knock Kannapolis out of the way out of it.
On 4th down and 4, Matt Walters will kick it. Now they're sending Barry Lipscomb back inside the 10-yard line. He's a dangerous return man. Let's see if Walters kicks it to him. Kannapolis sending about 8 guys, and they'll kick it away. Lipscomb will come up, and he gets away. It'll hit and go. Did they get it? No, not quite. Almost another butte that time by the kick coverage for Concord.
That one was awfully close, and I tell you, if just another step, and I think the Concord man would have been able to stop that ball on the 1-yard line there.
Matt Walters trying to set his history repeat itself. It almost did there.
He's just done a great job this year kicking the football for Concord.
I don't see too many people moving around on the bank, I tell you.
They're frozen to it. There's not much room to move. Once you find the place, you better keep it, because if you don't, somebody's going to come along and snatch it from you.
They brought out heavy-duty anchors tonight. That's the Daytona horseshoe in there. The banking's about like the Speedway. As the Wonders up to the line on 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. They give it to the fullback. First time we've seen Lott at that position tonight. They got about 2. Jamie Udy on the tackle, and you can pick out a few more. Billy Posey there as well.
And that's just their straight dive right there against the 50 defense. Lott's not the biggest fullback that you're ever going to see lining up there. He's not that typical Jim Brown bruiser fullback right there.
If he ever squirts loose, though, I don't think you can catch him. They'll split the backs this time on 2nd and 7. Michael Barnes with the ball. And David Damon with the tackle. For a loss to the 21.
Damon came in from the backside to make that tackle too, Randy, as Kannapolis had pulled Banks across the line to try to run that play. Damon came in from behind to stop it.
Well, if you stop the Wonder running game, makes it a lot easier to guess that they're probably going to be throwing as they come out to the line. 3rd and 8. Or 3rd and 9, excuse me. Out of the eye with 2 wide. And Smith with a long count, straight drop. Sidelines, he's got the man on the curl pattern, complete 40-45. Wonder first down to the 48-yard line with a reception. Marvin Hall, number 83, the senior.
Big play right there, and the seniors come up and rise to the occasion, and that was just a quick slant inside, and then he made the good run after he caught it. The extra yardage came on that run.
I was getting ready to say, it wasn't really a curl, it was kind of a slant. It turned in other words. Over 3 minutes to go, I believe, in the first half.
And that's the first down that Kannapolis has had tonight with about 3 minutes to go.
Kannapolis with a big 3rd down conversion keeps the drive alive. Spiders on top, 7-0. And they'll give it to Barnes. He'll go short side. They seal the end that time, and Michael's down the sidelines, and he runs out of real estate in front of the Wonder bench.
And he's another tough one. Once he gets you on that corner, and he just uses the sideline so well, that once he gets it turned north and south, you're going to have to put something on him that water won't wash off the next day and get him down.
Concord with a couple of defensive adjustments. So really Tate and Andre Reed have checked back into the defensive line at the end positions. And it's second down. Concord 44-yard line. They need 2. Whoops. They're going to need 7.
The offensive line jumped just a little bit right there. It was just enough for the ref to see.
Moving back to the 49-yard line. We will have halftime performances for you in this Western Regional final game. The Brown Band and the Concord Spider marching contingent as well. I tell you, they've probably been waiting for the rematch of the who's got the best halftime show as well.
Well, I tell you, they both put on a great one.
And you'll see that here coming up in a few minutes. Wonders with 2nd and 7 now at the 49-yard line of Concord. Andy Smith gives it this time a lot, and he got a yard. Concord contained, strung it out, and 72 finished the job for the Spiders.
Good defense with that was just a little, almost a counter trap right there as they came back to this left-hand side, and the play just really never got started as the Concord line just jammed it up right on the front.
Mr. Jermaine Reed, the junior, in on the tackle. There's an Andre, number 32, that plays some defense for easy too.
And I think we're going to see Kannapolis come back throwing the football right here.
Concord has got possession, but it's in the goal line. Now that's the question. Will it be a safety or what? We just don't know. I think it's not in the end zone. It was a muff.
I think they'll call it a muff right there, not a fumble. But I'm like you, the ball didn't go in the end zone because it's going to be down right there on about the 1 foot line.
They recovered it about. There's not many more inches to go.
I tell you, he did a great job of getting back just to recover that football right there, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't think he could get over there. There was 2 Kannapolis men right there, and it looked like Kannapolis had a pretty clear shot at picking that one up.
They almost did the old, let's kick it another 5 yards.
Well, I just wondered a little bit if that might not have been what was going on, that they were kind of maybe pushing it up there, and by doing that, it may have cost them the recovery right there.
Hey, we saw that last week out here. Concord got a tremendous break on the blocked field goal.
And here we're going to try to see it again right here. Their kick.
Did he fumble? That is the question. Well, that was right off his knee, and now it looked like Kannapolis had a golden opportunity.
Trying to pick the man that had it in his hands, and then dropped it.
Well, the Spiders have got to be careful now. Nothing fancy as we're in the closing seconds of the first half.
Now this is where not knowing what time is left on the clock really kind of makes you bite your nails. Not only that, irritates you a little bit.
It's first and 99 yards and 2 feet to go, and Robinson will just keep it. And he got maybe a foot.
Well, we know that Kannapolis has got 2 timeouts left, and I would imagine some way they're getting the coaches the time just as quickly as they can.
Let's give him a yard. I believe Robinson probably carried again on this next play, don't you think?
Yeah, they may want the ball handled just as the least possible down here. I would.
This is very important. You look at you talk about Robinson handling it. Hey, we haven't said anything about Lester Fortney. He's the center, the senior. He's got to snap it.
He does a super job.
They think the handoff. Robinson hit at the goal line. Robinson on the keeper. Now, and it'll be 3rd down.
We don't know the time, and right now I would say Coach Hardy may, and he hadn't wasted a timeout or burned the timeout yet, Randy. So I would say we're looking at about 2 minutes here.
3rd down. 3rd and 10. They still need 10. You're going to call it 10. No game.
Now I would think that maybe after this play he'll call a timeout.
I tell you, the Wonders almost got the running back of the end zone there. Oh, we're down to inches when you get down that close, Larry.
And if you're talking the end of the game right here, you're looking at Concord probably taking the safety, but at this point in the game, no.
3rd down. Robinson going to the air. He's got a man. Tyson Black complete behind the secondary, and the Wonders are hit with a big play right there. Just a simple little turn.
It's like somebody hitting you in the head with a hammer right there, because you worked hard to keep him down there, and we have just seen Robinson make play after play this year.
Yep.
And Tyson Black, when he's around the football, we've said it all year, something big's going to happen when he's around the football.
I was sitting there thinking about last year's game where Kenny ran it about 98 yards. So I said, well, that's kind of down where they need it. Everything's under control when you have it on your own 1 or 2 yard line.
I tell you, Tyson is just a lot of fun to watch him play, because he makes things happen. He's an exciting football player.
Well, it's a 32-yard game that time. And the Spiders are out of the hole. And that one almost went all the way.
It was about a step from going all the way.
So you're talking about Kenny just staying back there cool and calm in your own end zone, and Tyson with some good hands. They're checking the time, I think, right now, the officials going to both sidelines. Want to make sure, see how much time, and informing the coaches. As we are late, we do know that here in the first half.
You know, we talked this year about these. Neither one of these coaches afraid to get back there. That's a pretty gutsy call right there. I mean, you know, hey, if we give it up right here, we can turn this game around. But if you make that big play, then you really get the momentum going on your side.
Spiders leading 7-0 by virtue of the Jay Graham 5-yard touchdown run. With about 11 minutes to go here in the first half. And that's been the only score. I'll give it to Graham again. He gets to the outside. He can be dangerous. And there he goes. There's the loose football. And it's still loose. And I believe Concord gets on it. Nobody saw it.
I saw it. I think you saw it. We saw it bouncing through the air, but I don't think that the player saw it. The ball came loose and was just kind of, it looked like it was just hung out there in the air for a little while.
Ken Clowney, number 51 for the Wonders, got to be hitting himself in the head. Says, what have I got to do? He said, I got one fumble, picked it out of the air in the first quarter, and he said, then we got bit by the penalty. He said, now that sucker's rolling all around me, and I didn't even know it.
Right, and they're going to get the chain crew over here now. They're going to have to come all the way across the field and warm up a little bit and give this a look-see right here.
First appearance of the game for the chain crew. Those guys, the unsung heroes over there. They kind of keep law and order on the side.
I can guarantee you one thing, they got some cold feet tonight unless they got 2 pair of socks on down there.
A little chilly without humidity out there, that's for sure. I think they said 2:05 left in the first half is the official time right now.
And you know, right now the big play right now may be that pass out of the end zone.
Concord with plenty of time to move downfield and get something on the board here before halftime. The clock will run here. They've got it 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. And Massey keeps the feet going, and he keeps going to the Wonder 44-yard line.
He just came out of the pack. He ran into the back of his blockers and just got into kind of the mass of humanity right there as he followed Harvey up in there, and then came out of the pack and made a good run out of it.
Kenny made a good run, too, from the tackle position. He just didn't have the football.
He does a good job right there.
1st and 10, 44-yard line. Spiders lining it up out of the split back rear. Massey skirts off a couple, and now they finish him off down at the Wonder 36-yard line. About an 7 or 8 yard gain.
And it looked like, I couldn't pick up the number, but one of the Kannapolis defensive men came across and made initial contact early, and he was able to run out of that tackle right there.
Strong running backs. They do not go down easy. 2nd and 3 as Robinson lines him up again. Going with some just straight up the middle. I mean, that's basic football right there. As Graham will get the first down to the Wonder 31-yard line.
Now, there's nothing fancy right here. It's not like you have to figure out a lot of things. They're just bringing it to you right here.
Bill Alzade, Sean Blackwell, Esther Courtney, John Porter, Kenny Barbie. That Spider offensive line. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 5 seniors out there.
You do, and you know, this is just where you have to tell your defense and your linebackers and those guys, they've just got to step up in there and stuff it right here.
Spiders leading by 7. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to Bailey Stadium, Western Regional 3A Final. The right to go on the Chapel Hill, along with Larry Mason, Randy Whitley, and the TV13 production staff. And the Spiders are huddled up here on 1st and 10 at their Kannapolis 31-yard line.
You know, I don't know. I think Coach Smith in those shorts, I really believe he just goes out there and gets in the middle of that huddle to get warm, personally. I don't know if he's calling the play.
He's got his battery-operated socks on tonight, maybe. Out of the team. It is Massey. Breaks the tackle and goes to the 26-yard line. As Richard Greer tried to hang on, couldn't quite get the elusive Massey.
You know, it has really turned a lot colder since we've been here. And right now, football, I'm sure, is cold out there, but both teams doing a good job of hanging on to it.
Well, for all the build-up and all the expectations, I believe everybody's seen a good first half of football, and we're still going. Here's Massey again, being pursued, tripped up, and then the pursuit catches up. You got to give credit, really, for the tackle to Steve McKnight, the linebacker. He got him and then slowed him up.
Well, he tried to flip him over in midair, I think, right there. We've seen him in that backfield a lot this year. McKnight just played super. But then there was a collision about 2 yards down.
Now, the Redskins have got a posse. I think McKnight he waited on the posse to catch up.
I think so.
We got another timeout on the field, so we will break and return with more playoff coverage in just a moment.
As we come back to Bailey Stadium, 21 seconds left in the first half right here. This comes down to a big play. We might see him throw the football right here. This lineup, I think that's what we're going to see.
Got trips right this time. And they'll go to the run. Graham. They got everybody out there to block. And he's blocked down on the ground. The Wanderers coming up in a hurry to snuff that one out. Billy Meisenheimer over there. And we've got a timeout call by Concord. They want one more shot here.
They did, and they made that look like a pass, but we've seen them run the football out of that this year, and they tried to stretch it, and when they did, the linebackers were just able to get up in behind it right there.
As you take a beautiful look, the Hills are alive here at Bailey Stadium. We'll be back. We are back, and Peter Rodney, who has won one playoff game for the Spiders. He was the difference in the last play of the first half in the Brevard game. He's on to maybe try to repeat things.
He is, and it's going to be about a 45-yard field goal right here. He's got the distance.
Well, they're going to put the tee actually there at the 31, so it will be a 41-yard field goal. Right hash mark, and with the right-footed kicker, a right-legged kicker, that would kind of favor the soccer style.
Well, he should kick in, so if he's had his foot warmer on right here, he may be okay.
Walters to hold. 41-yard attempt by Otney. With 12 seconds left. Snap, spot, kick is up. It's long enough. Is it on line?
It's wide.
About 50 yards distance on that one.
It was just a little wide to the right. If he had been able to hook it back in, he had the distance on that one.
Well, the Wanderers dodge a bullet there. Now they'll have time for one more play probably here in the first half.
I imagine they'll throw up a bullet of their own right here.
We'll have trips left maybe this time.
You know, their offense hasn't been on the field much here. Their defense has been on the field quite a lot here in the second quarter.
Yep. Move them all back to the 20-yard line. 7-0. Concord on top. And the Wanderers with the final play of the first half. Now they got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys out in the pattern. Got the tight end coming, and the running back is also eligible here. And Andy Smith goes down to 1 knee, and that'll be your first half here at Bailey Stadium. Everything everybody thought it should be, and it's anybody's game as they go to the locker room. Spiders leading 7-0. Gets better with TV13, and we thank the folks responsible for that very much. That's for sure.
Well, that's because we have more time to practice.
That's true.
We've been here for about 14 weeks now. We should know what we're doing.
Well, let's take a look and see how the teams did in the first half. As far as the stats are concerned, pretty even balance, but the Wonders not much offense there. 58 yards, a credit to that Spider defense. And 2 of 1 in the passing department, no turnovers. And Kannapolis had to punt it 4 times. And penalties not really a factor in the game here in the first half.
Really not. Really, it seems like maybe the factor is that the momentum kind of swung to Concord there a little bit in that second quarter, and they kept the ball. Kannapolis had a couple of chances to make things happen and really weren't able to take advantage of them.
Concord with a pretty good half. They're kind of on line with about 365 yards rushing average through this season, and they're about halfway there. And the turnovers, well, it did not hurt them. And look at that, no penalties. So they have not really beaten themselves in the first half.
Well, the one thing that we did talk about, the penalties really haven't come into play yet. The turnovers not so much yet. And Kannapolis is going to have to do something right here to slow that Concord offense down and get their offense in gear and get back in this football game. Not that they're out of it, but I think they're going to have to get that momentum swung back their way a little bit.
5 possessions for Concord, 33 plays in the first half. And Kannapolis, 24 plays and 6 possessions. And we'll tell you those individual rushing leaders here in just a minute as the kick goes and kind of dies there at about the 20-yard line. And now Massey picks it up, and he's dangerous. Wonders are going to wrap him up, but not before Massey returns to the 41-yard line.
And it's strange how things make things happen, Randy. That ball just died, and I think all the players kind of quit on it, and Massey was just able to pick it up and outrun the coverage.
Massey, he was the leading rusher in the first half with 55 yards. His teammate had 54. Graham for Kannapolis. Michael Barnes, 9 yards in the first half, and Keenan Law had 12. So his Spider defense has got Michael's number. They'll toss it to Graham, trying to get around the corner. He meets head-on and then goes forward for another 5 yards to the 49-yard line.
Well, he missed the tackler and then dragged him almost another 2 or 3 yards. And we talk about key possessions. I feel like this is going to be one of the key possessions in the ball game right here. Kannapolis has got to slow that momentum down. If Concord keeps riding that way they were on right here, then it's going to be tough.
Second down and 2. They need the Wonder 49. And Graham is not going to get it this time. However, there's still a little action going on. And there may have been a fumble.
It looked like they were trying to strip the football away right there. And that play is one of those that kind of clogs up right there in the middle. And the one thing about the Concord offense is you'll hit some that don't work. And then all of a sudden you hit the big play, and that's really the way the Beer offense almost works.
Richard Greer made the stop. He almost made the steal, I believe, of the football. They're going to measure it. I didn't think he was close. Maybe had a yard to go, but the sticks moved.
He may have been able to inch it out there, you know, just sort of sneak it under the pile right there.
49 seconds left in the third.
And it's going to be about a football short. So the third and short coming up. About a minute and a half here in the third quarter. I want to remind you, viewers, the clock is inoperative tonight. We'll keep it on the field, and we'll pass the time along to you when we get it. We do know the score. That's the most important thing. Spiders up 7-0. First down, and then some for Graham to the 46.
And that's just a quick hitter and out of that Beer offense, and he was able to pick up the first down right there. If he'd been able to keep his feet, he may have had more yardage out of it than just the first down.
I'm going to move it back a little bit, just about the 46.5-yard line.
And you talk about being tested. Right now, the Wonder defense is being tested, and they're being asked to step up and meet the challenge right here.
First and 10, toss sweep coming Massey. Big side of the field, good blocking out front, and he really tackled himself out at about the 41-yard line. That field has been played on quite a bit. It's in excellent condition, but in the middle,
it looks like it's been worn a little bit right there, and we've seen a couple of backs lose their footing right there. But Tillman got out there, and he was able to make that play turn back inside.
Well, actually, they say his knee went down at the 44-yard line, so not as big a gain as I'd originally thought. And it's 2nd and 7. Spiders will get the receivers on the respective sides. And Robinson, the cool customer, under center. Keeps it. Hit. Got some positive yardage that time. Hut Smith hit him high. And it was Richard Greer finishing him off near the ankle
They
area.
were, and Kannapolis lined up that time like they were going to blitz a little bit, and I think they did send a couple of people right there, and they were able to kind of upset that play before it got started.
3rd down. They need to get to the 36.5-yard line. So it's a long 5 this time out of the chute. Toss sweep, Graham. Wonders will come up and get him for a loss that time. Brian Tillman, the defensive end, had the number in his eye.
Well, he really did, and Tillman made a great defensive play right there. He was able to shuck his blocker and then come up and stretch that play and go on and make the tackle right there. If he hadn't, there could have been good yardage picked up on that.
Matt Walters is in, and there's 23 for Kannapolis. Barry Lipscomb, he along with Lott are the D-backs. And there's Matt Walters, outstanding senior. Wonder showing 8 guys on the line of scrimmage, and Walters gets off not a particularly high kick, but a good one. It will not be returned. That's the best kind if you're a Spider supporter, and it'll look at it about the 13 or 14-yard line. So they've got the Wonders pinned inside their own 15-yard line, right where you want them, right, Coach?
Well, you talk about a field position game, and right now Concord's winning that game. Of course, Kannapolis had Concord pinned down on about the 1-inch line, and they were able to come out of that. So we're going to get to see right now what adjustments, if any, that Kannapolis made at halftime on their offensive team.
And a live Ford, the tight end up on the left side, run it, started out of the I formation on the snap. And the counter this time goes to Barnes. Short side, got a little yardage there up to about the 20-yard line. First time we've seen him do that tonight.
I think that they came back to do that probably to try to slow down those Concord linebackers a little bit, because they've just been in the backfield all night long stopping the plays. And I think we're probably seeing them come back out with a little counter action to try to freeze those linebackers, Randy.
Well, we talk about that Concord offensive line. We can't forget Kannapolis with Carl Banks and Homer Gregory and Ken Conley and Scott Belcher and Richard Greer up there doing the job.
And they've
actually got Hut Smith on that one tackle position on the right side.
Right, and they've just done a super job all year long also.
Smith looks to pass. Over the middle, complete. Douglas held on somehow. Pretty good hit by Mike Kennedy, the corner, and he fell on him.
He
on
really
top of
was,
that.
and Douglas felt that one, but he just went up and made that's a prime time catch right there.
Kannapolis will pick up good yardage on 1st down and sets up your 2nd down, go to the air, and you do a lot of things when you get good yardage on 1st down.
Well, it's like you hear everybody talk about, it changes the complexion of the offense. There are things that you're not as afraid to do and things that you can incorporate in the offense now.
It's 1st and 10 for the Wanderers at their own 39-yard line. Pretty good field position now. And they'll toss it this time to Lott. Concord misses him, and Lott may be gone. Can Kennedy catch him? 20, 15, 10. At the 1-yard line.
We've been waiting all year long to see him break out and to see how fast he is, so we just got to see it right there. It was a foot race. But Kennedy, for him to run him down, though, hey, he's got some speed, too.
Wouldn't you like to have those two guys on your relay team?
Again, it's just a toss. He cuts it back in instead of stretching it outside. He cuts it about against the grain, and most of the tacklers at that point had overrun and the pursuit had overrun.
Kennedy, a lot in the baton. Boy, I would have been. That's a great track team. I tell you,
we get those guys together. When the Olympics in Atlanta, we can get those guys together right there.
Wonders 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Have called the timeout. Spiders leading 7-0. Kannapolis trying to get on the board. We'll be back. Larry Mason, they talk about Michael Barnes, but I'll tell you what. one thing, Kenny Lott, he had about 800 yards rushing this season, and he proved why he could take it too.
He did, and he got the strutted stuff right there. It was a foot race.
Eisenheimer and Lott are in the backfield. First and goal at the 1. It will be Lott. Close. No signal. He didn't get in.
No, it's going to be tough right there. And they may have to stretch this one and try to get him in and let him break it back into the end zone instead of going right up the middle right here.
We got it a little bit closer. While we have a minute, we want to say something about the officiating crew. They've done an excellent job tonight.
Well, they really have. And you and I didn't get to find out where this crew is from, but it's a neutral crew, and they are doing a good job with the ball game.
As they always say, if you don't see them, they've done a good job. Now let them play. Barnes is now checked in at tailback on second and goal. It will be Michael, right side, touchdown, Kannapolis. And a look at the far sideline. It's erupted.
He was able to find the seam in there and get that one into the end zone. That's a big touchdown. The next big thing is going to be this extra point right here.
Michael Barnes with touchdown number 20 on the year. 5 plays, 86 yards. And the big one, it was about 61 yards.
See it again as everybody blocks down, and then you have one man kicking out, and he finds that seam in there.
Robert Combs will hold for senior Ben Johnson to try to tie it. It's a new game. Timeout on the field. About midway through the third quarter, it's all knotted at 7. As we come back, Steve Atkins will kick it away for Kannapolis, and it's nothing been decided. We were talking during the break there. King Lott's a leading rusher now in the game, probably with 1 run.
Well, you know, like he said, just give it to me one good time, and I'll get it all on one.
He said, don't make sense to get beat on 15 times, right?
Well, that's right. We talked about Kannapolis changing the momentum in this game, and they just changed it. They brought some of that momentum back to them, and they've made a new ball game out of it now.
Robinson.
That bell is going. The flags are waving. The fans are in a frenzy.
Well, they're still here. I don't think anybody's left yet.
Robinson busted up the middle, and then he is punished at about the 33-yard line. That's where the Spiders will go on offense.
Across the 30 to the 33.
Getting down to that gut check time now, and we're going to see which one of these teams is going to stand in there.
Well, you knew the Wonders would come back. You just didn't know how. And now, you know, Concord's going to come back.
Well, they've got all the weapons, and right now we're going to see, you know, which team is going to be able to stop the other one, literally.
Robinson play fake, short side of the field. He'll keep it. Breaks a tackle, and then it's bumped out of bounds right in front of E.Z. Smith over there at about the 40-yard line.
Here again, if you're timid, that's not a good place to be down there. There's a lot of banging and clanging and everything else going on down there. It's a collision game down there tonight.
I think Mark and Woody are camera people. They're hanging in pretty good down there.
They are. Watch out down there, guys.
Robinson can make a lot of defensive guys look bad.
He really can. You can start where he's at, and by the time you get there, he's not there anymore.
39-yard line, second down. They need the 44. Robinson intercepted. Robert Combs. Wonders have got the momentum, it looks like, at the 41-yard line of Concord. That is the second interception on the line by the Wonder defense.
And I'm not sure that the receiver really picked that ball up, but Combs saw it from the time that he threw it.
Well, the first time they intercepted, they had it down inside on about the 30-yard line. It came away. The Concord defense rose up and stopped the Wonders abruptly. Now the pressure's back on the D for the black and gold.
And they're doing the coverage right there, and the defense able to come up with a big interception.
Momentum has shifted. Can Kannapolis capitalize on the turnover? Out of the I formation, Michael Barnes almost squirmed away, got about 3 yards that time. And Billy Posey, the nose guard, one of the first guys to trip him up.
It was, and one thing that Kannapolis is trying to do, it looks like a little bit right here, is pin those linebackers inside and run the ball off the tackle, right off tackle right there. Block down and then block down, kick out, and run in that seam.
Well, they said, let's run that play again. Keenan Lott did pretty good on it, so it's second down and 8 as they line them up. 39-yard line of Concord. Keenan Lott hits the middle for about a yard. David Damon getting up off the top of the pile. Let's see who got up on the bottom. It was 74. Once again, Billy Posey.
Stop by number 75, Gilmore, at 44.
And also Tommy Gilmore in on the play now.
And
Tommy, we didn't mean to slight you. You're around every play.
He is. He has just had a great football season this year.
Posey checks in, Larry, on the scale. 255, Gilmore 275, and J.D. Uda, he's a small one out there, 210.
I think where some of these youngsters might have got slided was in that Shrine Bowl selection this year.
Okay. Fly pattern, sidelines. It's up for grabs. It will be Concord interception. Kenny Robinson coming back the other way. And he is really hammered. So they trade interceptions.
That ball just really started, he got up there and started to float, and it was anybody's football then.
And it looked like the Kannapolis receiver taking nothing away from the Concord defense. May have lost his footing just a little bit as he made the cut in, but the Spiders had it well covered. Probably would have been picked off anyway.
It really did. Well, either that or possibly knocked down if they were able to make the big interception on it there.
Well, momentum is back on the black and gold side. 34-yard line. Robinson leads him up with 3 wide. Keep it to Massey this time, and he's hemmed in and stopped Richard Greer.
And we're going to see momentum shift back and forth here, I think, for the next little while.
Hutch Smith, 52, the defensive end, has not been in to the finishing touches on a lot of tackles tonight. But he, I guess, his job is to turn it inside, wouldn't you say?
Well, he does a good job of that. He's always around that football, no matter where it's at.
He says, I'll turn it inside, let Greer and Gray and Jones and company.
Well, one thing both these teams do is they get a lot of folks around the football on defense.
Graham knocked down out across the 40-yard line by Steve McKnight, the linebacker. It's going to be a third down and short. They'll spot it at the 43. About 2.
And that's a big run right there, and he gives them the third and short right here.
We're in the third quarter. It's tied at 7. The clock is not operating. We're having to go with what we get from the sidelines. I would say we're probably, halfway through the third quarter.
I think so, yeah.
They'll toss it to Massey. And a penalty marker is down. Massey, I believe, has just enough for the first down as he's bumped out of bounds over there by Lipscomb and Smith and company.
And I really think we'll probably see a holding on this right here, Randy.
That's going to be the preliminary call against who? That is the question. Against the Spiders. Oh, that's a backbreaker right here.
And that's going to take the first down away and walk that one back. Certainly going to lose the first down. Plus, you know, one thing if you'll notice is you go back and you look at the playoff games we've done and the games we've done, we're not seeing either one of these teams do anything different we've seen them do all year. It's just who does it the best right now.
Well, they brought the same dates to the dance, didn't they?
They really did. They might have fine-tuned them and stroked them a little more, and then I don't know what these coaches did to get them pumped up for this game, but I guarantee you they used every trick in the book.
Such a no indication of the number of folks here tonight down on the close end of the horseshoe. I don't think I've ever seen them on the track that far now.
That was because that was the last thing left.
Get a field level view of the game.
Well, the only person left to run it now is Robinson.
Well, he's getting some pressure. Backside, the sack. Oh, mercy, that hurt. That hurt me up here. I'm a wimp. I mean, I can handle this.
That was a big hit right there. And I don't know, I think they might have been setting up the screen pass out there to Graham. It looked like he held the ball just a little bit too long right there.
I think what hurt is the fact I felt for Kenny because he didn't see what was coming and I did.
Yeah, you know, when it's cold like this, those bumps still they just kind of magnify.
Well, Matt Walters, I don't know, Matt's out there.
He's saying, listen, guys, we need one more guy here.
That would help.
Let's take our full allotment here.
Need our snapper.
Yeah.
Okay, Lester Fortney finally is back out. And Walters standing at about his own 15-yard line. It's off a beautiful kick. This one is Staley. Lifts him, back pedals, and falls down, and that'll be it. Watch out, almost a late hit. There's no call there.
I think so, and that's the one thing the refs have done tonight is unless it was just really flagrant, they haven't called it. But what a punt. That was just a great punt. Great catch on the other end of it. It amazes me the athletic ability of these guys sometimes.
Does it fly better in the cool air or the hot air?
It must be doing pretty well out there in the cool air. It would seem to me like the cool air is thinner. Hot air rises, so it'd be up there to slow it down.
We'll check. Dr. Mason.
Hey, we'll call Ray Bolin and find out what the, he can tell us. It'd be the weather question of the week.
He's the only one that's not here tonight. One setback offense for the Wonders. Then setback, Michael Barnes gets it, breaks a tackle, squirms to about the 39-yard line. About 4 on that one.
He did, and he was stopped there initially and was able to run out of that and keep his feet moving.
Possession of the second half for Kannapolis. Concord has had it 3 times as well.
I haven't heard the time lately, but I would think that this quarter is really winding on down right here.
7-7. Our score is tied. The winner will go to Chapel Hill for the state championship game. But they will be Western Regional champions in 3A. And there is a late flag. Linesman spotted something.
They did, and from where it came from, it's going to be kind of hard to tell. But I think it's going against Kannapolis.
You think this game is kind of, even with the procedure, you think this game is kind of got into the cat and mouse stage?
Yeah, it's kind of ebbing and flowing now. And I think the thing that neither team and these youngsters start thinking about now is, I don't want to be the one to make a mistake, and I don't want to make a mistake here and cost us the football game as it starts to wind down.
Well, the kicking game looms so much more important as we take down the seconds in this game. The Peter Otneys, the Ben Johnsons, the Matt Walters, the Steve Atkins.
Right, and
Andy Smith.
In the field position here also.
Pushing the Waters back to their 35-yard line, 2nd and 11. Smith to the air, looking sidelines, pumps the second time. What a catch. Mario Douglas, he had about 3 black shirts. I don't know how he got it.
I don't either. I really don't. He just went up over the top because I honestly thought that ball was probably going to be intercepted. If we get to see this again, because you talk about stealing one from the defense, they just got away with stealing one from the defense. Here it is. Into heavy coverage. He is able to go up and catch the football right there. You can't fault your defensive coverage on that because they were all around him.
Douglas has got 4 touchdown receptions on the year. I think he's leading, caught the most passes this year.
Well, it seems like he's the guy that they're going to when they need the big play. They're able to go him just like Concord goes to State when they need the big pass play. Both those guys are able to come up with it.
Well, nothing's been decided yet. It's 7-7. We've got at least 12 more minutes of regulation to go when we come back.
Back to Bailey Stadium, Coach Smith with his troops there, telling them what his game plan is, and I think they know that. Coach Harding's been out there telling the Kannapolis, and there's the Kannapolis band, and they're telling them what their game plan is. It's the boogie and shake over there and stay warm.
And the Concord band is doing their version of Hey Baby.
Hey, they're not boogie, they're just trying to stay warm. That's what happens when it gets cold out there.
There's another song, I want to know if you'll be my girl. So the bands are in competition as well. And they put on a great halftime show. First play of the 4th quarter. First and 10, 44-yard line. Keenan Lott into the secondary. Cuts it to the outside. Outruns one man. 30, 25, 20. Cuts it back inside the 15-yard line. Keenan Lott is stealing the limelight here in the second half.
Really has and made a big cut. And that started out just to be an isolation play. He was able to break it back against the grain once he got through the line of scrimmage right there and make the big run. And they're tacking on the penalty, I think, at the end of the tackle, Randy, with a face mask.
Maybe Coach Harden figures, well, we got Barnes, the bruiser. Let's put Lott back there. He's got the speed. If he can get outside, then and that's exactly what's happened. He's had two long runs, 61 yards, and now that one went for 30.
Well, he just followed Barnes up in there on the isolation. But once he cleared the line of scrimmage, he broke it back and made a left turn and was able to outrun the coverage then and made a big run out of it.
Well, I tell you, the fans are alive now. As we're getting down to nail-bite time, I've already lost mine. And with a penalty, the ball sets it up first and goal, Kannapolis at the 7-yard line.
And this is a big stand for the Concord defense right here.
Concord defense had went a long time without allowing points as they're taking the blitz. Lott bumps off the initial wave, and there's that Concord defense. David Damon and number 13, Ray Massey leading the charge. No gain.
And that's just a big stand right there. And like we said, Damon puts it on the play, and I think right here is when youngsters like him are going to rise to the occasion.
Well, they actually gave him a yard, so let's call it second and goal with the 6.
You know, it's kind of been interesting. At the end of every run and every tackle, these guys are getting up, telling each other about how good a job they're doing.
The Spider string of 12 consecutive quarters broken in the third quarter. And Kannapolis is trying to take the lead. Lott to the 4. Tommy Gilmore on this tackle.
And they were able to shut that down as he broke it back to the left side. I've never figured this out even when I was coaching. How come those last 5 yards going into the end zone are so much tougher than that 95 that's on the other side of it?
Well,
there's something magical about it.
Well, the defensive guys don't have to play it. If it's at the 5, they can only go 15 yards, right? It's third and goal. Folks come to their feet, those who aren't already on their feet. Johnson is checked into the backfield. Michael Barnes wigs and wags, and he'll score. Touchdown, Kannapolis.
And the thing that made that play, Randy, was Barnes was just able to keep his feet moving and drag it on into the end zone as we see the crowd there on their feet.
They've taken a 13-7 lead.
And here we see it again, just the isolation right here. Bam! And now he drags and is able to fall into the end zone.
65 yards, 6 plays. The Wonders with their first lead of the game, and now a very big extra point. Ben Johnson kicks it up. It's through the heart. Timeout on the field. Wonders leading Concord 14-7. We've got a long way to go here in the fourth quarter. We're back at jam-packed overflow. Right for Pickett and Baylor Stadium, I tell you. Nobody's going to leave this one tonight.
We knew there was a crowd when we saw them getting out of the car at the mall walking down the road down here.
Probably been a good night to go shopping. Not many boats. The Wonders have seized the momentum, and they lead in this game. As a matter of fact, this is, 7+ quarters now these two teams have played this year, and I believe this is the first time Kannapolis has led.
I think you're right, and the thing that Concord's going to have to do now is get that momentum swung back in their favor and get one on the board here.
Steve Atkins, the senior, kicks it high and deep and in and over in. Here's Robinson, 20, 25, bumped down at about the 27-yard line. Brian Tillman on the coverage for the Wonder Kid team. And yes, Scott Belton was down there in the area as well.
And he is always down there on this team. And it'll be interesting right now to see what Coach Smith decides to come back with. He's had success with a couple of different things, and we'll just see what he decides he's going to go with right here.
All eyes on the shoulders and a very good shoulders, I might add, of Kenny Robinson, the junior quarterback. That man can take it for E.Z. Smith and the Spiders and tie it up in about 6 seconds, probably. How know if he could run 70 yards, 73 yards in that time, but it wouldn't take him much.
It doesn't take him long. You know, this time last year, we were at Statesville watching these same Spiders play, and of course, they've been at this position before, so they know what it's about.
Of course, it didn't look it wasn't looking quite as good as this game. I mean, they were down 21-0 that game.
Statesville handed the law of defeats last year, so they got to that state final.
Robinson out of the split back veer with 2 wide to the near side. He'll keep it, almost falls down, and here's Kinney coming upfield to the 37-yard line. I believe the screws have been loosened just a little bit with a running attack, Kenny Robinson.
They might. And I saw Tyson Black down there kind of asking Coach Smith, give me the ball. So we're going to see just what happens. There's a couple of tempers flaring down there just a little bit as we see Robinson waiting for the play from Coach Smith.
Well, one of the players for Kannapolis is being helped off the field on the far side, and I'm not sure if he was ejected or...
No, I don't think I think right now they're just trying to calm him down and say, hey.
Before something terrible happens, right? And now we've got a timeout called for by Kannapolis. We are in the 4th quarter. The Wonders lead 14-7 here at Bailey Stadium. 9:16 left in the ball game in regulation. The way this one's going, it may go an extra quarter.
They're really good. And the thing, I think you and I both feel this way. Of course, I know the folks from Kannapolis don't, and the folks from Concord don't. It's a shame to see either one of these teams lose and this have to finish their season. They've just been outstanding representatives of the conference this year.
Great game for Cabarrus County, that's for sure. I think Easy Smith was quoted as saying that it is. It's great for the whole area.
Well, it is, and it's brought a lot of attention to this conference.
Something these players out here, win or lose, will never, ever forget in their lifetime. Spiders at the 37-yard line. 2nd and short. Graham, right side, he's in the open. Look out, breaks the tackle. Midfield, into the Wonders secondary, and across the field, bumped out of bounds. Inside the 35-yard line.
Just able, once he got through the line, he was able to break that initial tackle. That was just their little counter right there. And then he makes the big run out of it. He's just an outstanding runner.
That Kannapolis defense has been on the field quite a bit tonight. They played a lot in the 2nd quarter.
They really have.
Here come those Spiders down 14-7, but looking pretty good after that play. It's 1st and 10 at the Kannapolis 34. Graham hit at the line of scrimmage, got a yard. Lanny Gray, 71 with the penetration, and let's see who gets up off the bottom. Tony Jones over there with the tackle.
And it looks like, of course, that big run was breathing new life back into Concord right here, and we'll see here if they can keep this drive going.
Well, believe it or not, we will have a TV13 Sun-Drop Player of the Game selection at the conclusion of this game.
Oh boy, that one ought to be a good one to pick.
I know what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote for the fans coming out for this game. Robinson out the flat, and they're going to say incomplete.
They are, and I think that's the play that Tyson's been wanting the ball on right there, was get it out to me out here and then let me run with it, but the ball was just a little bit thrown over his head right there.
Well, that little imaginary line, so close to being a forward pass and a lateral, but Black been taking a chance as he fell on it just in case. Probably down to about 8 minutes to go in this game in the 4th quarter. As Lester Courtney, the senior, number 65, first man to break out of the huddle. Making sure the offensive linemen are in sync, and it's 3rd and 9. 33-yard line. On the fake delay, Robinson with some pressure, fires it upfield, incomplete, near the goal line. Double coverage on Tyson Black.
But Black was he almost split the coverage right there and came up with the interception right there, and Robinson did a good job of throwing the ball in there.
And he held up. He was a lot of heat coming at him.
It really was. They froze the folks just a little bit on, like you say, on the fake, on the draw right there.
Well, you're kind of in no man's territory here, Larry. We know Odney can kick at 42 yards, but this one, if they elected to kick, the field goal would probably be about 50 yards. So why not go for it?
Well, I would almost think that they might want to punt it, though, and pin them back, but I think evidently they know what the time is and we don't, so that's a tough call to make right here.
Big play of the game coming up here. Robinson rolls, big side of the field. Plenty of time, upfield, incomplete. And no penalty flags. He was looking for Mike Cannaday, and Robert Combs. Looked like Tillman was over there as well in the coverage. And let me pick up another number for you. Gary Brown, number 17. Brown has an interception.
And they were able to come up and make the big hit and knock the ball loose because initially the ball was caught, and they were able to come up and knock that one loose.
So the Wonders with the lead now on their last possession scoring, and now they have a football.
They do, and this is really going to test the metal right here of the Concord defense. They need a big stand, and they need the football back right here.
Need a turnover, don't they?
That or hold them 3 and get out.
As the clock stopping, of course, on the incompleted pass, and they'll break the huddle. Chris Ford, the tight end, number 39, he'll line up right side. Actually, he'll come out as a wide out. Johnson is in at fullback. It'll be Michael Barnes, though the tailback keeps it next to best. Goes maybe a yard that time.
I don't feel like, of course, with both of these coaches, who knows, but they're throwing it, they're picking those times to throw it that they feel like is being the most productive. I don't think we'll see Kannapolis put the ball up right here. I think we'll try to see them grind out a first down.
Both teams have been ranked number 1 at one point of the season. Both teams have been this far before. 2 of the last 3 years. Both teams are 12-1. What can you say about this game tonight?
It's everything you wanted it to be, for one thing.
Mr. Gilmore has had a formal introduction to Michael Barnes in the backfield. Tommy smelled the football and lost back to the 32-yard line.
He did, came through and made just a big defensive play that he's been making all year long there.
3rd down and long coming up.
This is a big play for the Concord defense right here. You certainly have to hold them that way. Don't want to give up something here and give them this first down.
Kannapolis has called their second timeout of the second half. They lead. That is it. They're out of timeout. So we've got a break of the action here. Midway through the 4th quarter. Wonders on top by 7. We're back at Bailey Stadium at 7 minutes and 4 seconds is left here in regulation. We keep saying that because it's not an 8 or 9 point game or 10 point game. It's a 7 point game. A touchdown to tie it up.
It does, and Ron Moon, our spotter, tells us that's the last time out for Kannapolis. That may turn out to be a factor late in the game.
But Concord has all of theirs, and that's an advantage for the Spiders. Play fake. Smith. Straight down the field and complete. He had the receiver turned, but it was just a little bit too long. The intended receiver, 21 Douglas, and now Concord's going to get the ball back.
It was, and evidently during the timeout, Coach Hardin had a play, and that was the play that they wanted to set up right there to go to.
That play took about 6 or 7 seconds, so we can honestly say inside 7 minutes left in the ball game. Robert Staten, who has run a couple back this year, would like to have another one right now for his teammates. He's number 23. There's number 3, Andy Smith. High snap. Brings it down and kicks the air out of it. Staten back at the 24-yard line. 25, 30, 35. Need I say more?
I tell you, they have been just some super hits tonight.
Belcher, the suicide man.
I'm not even down there, and I feel like I got hit on that one.
I just read Scott's stop before he got up here to us.
This is a big offensive stand right here for Concord with around 7 minutes left to go. They're not going to get the football too many more times. So they're going to have to take it and do something with it right here.
They'll have Staten to the bottom of the field here, short side. And Canada and black of the wideouts to the top. Twin sets out of the veer. 1st and 10. Robinson to Graham. And he'll get about 5 or maybe 6. 47-yard line.
And they're just looking right now for Graham to get the ball in there and break the line of scrimmage and then do what he does best, and that's to make the hard run outside with it.
Graham, 1,656 yards. Now 26 touchdowns on the season. What a year for that young man. The senior, 210 pounds. You got 25 seniors on one team, 24 on the other.
Well, I think I called Graham a junior back. He is a senior. In the first half, I took a year away from him.
I tell you, after tonight's game, these kids are a little bit more mature.
I don't want to do that. I know he wants to graduate on time.
Let's make sure. Yeah, you're right. 3rd down and about 1 coming up. Easy Smith with instructions to his junior quarterback, Kenny Robinson. We look at it, a lot of juniors on this offensive unit, the skill position. Black, State, Massive, Robinson. Got seniors out there leading them on that offensive line. They carried them all year long.
And they're going to make a big play right here because they need this just to keep this drive going.
3rd and 1. Get at the line of scrimmage, and I don't think he's going to...
I think they're short right now.
Let's see who made the hit as they get up. Tony Jones with the initial hit.
And depending on how close this is, I think we're going to see whether Coach Smith decides to go for it right here.
Now the Wonders have started their version of the... I guess that's the Wonder Chop over there. 4th down and a yard.
There's no tomorrow, as you would say, on this one. So right now you call out the horses and see if you can get it right here.
Staten, the lone receiver to the top of your screen. They'll come with the T this time as Houston Rogers is the middle back. It will be close to pending. I don't know. I just don't know. It's too close to
this
call.
one we can't call. This is going to be the spot right here.
Boy, that surge on both sides of the line was incredible that time. That's just old-fashioned football there.
That's just rock 'em, stock 'em, and we're going to see who can play the best right here. They're going to line it up and bring the chain man out.
2nd appearance of the game for those young men. Man, I'll tell you, we kind of jest about the chain crew, but a very important part of this game.
Well, we wouldn't know what 10 yards is without them and the lines on the field.
Big measurement here. 1st down by about the
stripe on the football.
Yep. Got the closest one we've had in a while, Mr. Mason.
This is definitely the closest one we've had that meant the most.
It's funny. It is a game of injury. 4.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Concord needs a touchdown to tie. Graham, huge hole, bust off a tackler, and look at the fight in that young man to this Kannapolis 42-yard line.
Big run, and he may have cut back just a little too soon on that one. He may have gotten more yardage keeping that one to the outside in the seam.
Spiders coming without a huddle. His time is on the Wonder side right now. Kannapolis leading 14-7 as we're down there 4 minutes to go in the game. Graham again. He'll be close to the 1st down. I think he's going to be about a half a yard shy that time.
He is, and one thing you'll notice, Kannapolis has gotten just about all of their folks up within about a yard of the football right here.
If he can get past it, we saw it the first meeting, both sides, they get past that little congregation there, and there's nobody left.
No, and if he does, it'll be a big run, and I can see the referee right now telling each sideline 4 minutes.
It's been a game of big plays tonight. Keenan Lott, about 100 yards rushing tonight on a couple of carries.
Concord right back in the same position they were on the last 1st down drive.
3rd and short. Graham cuts it in, 1st down, and then some to the Wonder 35-yard line. Drive of the season, perhaps, for the Spiders.
Well, knowing that they're not going to get the ball back too many times with 4 minutes left to go, I think you can say this one's going to be the one to keep their hopes alive right here.
It's 1st and 10. Robinson to Massey. What a hit in the backfield. Coming through. We'll pick him up. Steve McKnight, he's done it all
He
season.
really has, and he was able to split the seam and get back and make the tackle before he got out of the backfield.
Well, Larry, regardless of what happens in this one, I don't think we're going to get out of here before midnight. Do you?
I tell you, if we're going to wait till the traffic clears, we're going to be here a while.
Some of these folks have turned this in. I mean, you know, you got people. Boys, I think the bosses in Cabarrus County can understand if you skipped out of work a little early today to get a good seat in this one.
Well, the bosses might have been here themselves.
Robinson pumps once, now fires it downfield. It's going to be intercepted. Kannapolis. Barry Lipscomb bounces off of one man, and there's a jersey tackle, and then he gets hit in the back.
Yeah, he really was, and that's a big interception. That ball, Robinson had to throw it off balance and just wasn't able to put enough zip on it. If he had an open man there.
Third interception of the game by the Wonder secondary. And now, with Concord, they've got, what, 3 timeouts left. And Kannapolis needs a couple of first downs, and they may be on their way to Chapel Hill.
The first downs right here will seal it for them, and they've been there. They know what this is about right here. They made a big defensive stand right there. They were bending some, but I guess you could say they didn't break on that one.
Andy Smith. He's thrown for over 1,300 yards and 17 touchdowns this season. Out of the eye, there's a loose football. Kannapolis retains possession.
And then all the flags, I think we're probably going to see motion right there. I think maybe the center snapped it before Smith was ready for it.
That'll cost the Wonders 5, back to the 26-yard line. First and 15 as they line it up out of the huddle this time. I'm looking up at the Spider Field House, and I see about 5 deep up there. Lord have mercy, the people.
People everywhere.
We got to get a shot of panoramic view of this before the
I don't know if this is the largest crowd they've ever had, but it is not. I would have liked to seen the largest one.
Those who got cold left a long time ago. Those who stayed are numb, so they don't feel it anymore. And they're seeing a spectacle for sure. Michael Barnes cuts it to the outside, and he can take it. They've got the angle. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, 1 yard line. Kennedy caught Keenan Lott at the 1 yard line, and now he catches Barnes to keep him out of the end zone at the 1 yard line. And the Kannapolis fans are sensing victory right now.
And I think that what happened here was Concord, as we watched the fans there, Concord getting most of their defensive man up on that line of scrimmage. Once Barnes broke through, then it was a foot race again, and Kennedy caught it. Here he goes through the line, and he cuts. He outruns one, and now there's the only one left running down is Kennedy.
Well, those seniors rise to the occasion, don't they?
And I tell you what, Kennedy has just done a great job of just stopping 2 touchdowns tonight.
Wonders with first and goal at the 1 yard line. And perhaps salt a victory away if they can punch it in here. Lott leaps to the line. Touchdown, Wonders.
I tell you, he was able to find the seam, and he took off. He says, well, if I can't run them, I'll fly this one in. He airmailed that one, Randy.
Kannapolis looking good right now as they've taken a 20-7 lead. 69 yards and 2 plays. And the big one, Michael Barnes.
I tell you, they both have come off of the big runs have really been the ones that set up both of those touchdowns.
Ben Johnson out of the hole to Robert Combs, kicks it up and kicks it through. And we'll have a penalty marker on the play.
I think that's roughing the holder, and they'll take that one on the kickoff.
The Wonder kickoff coming up in just a minute when our TV13 sports playoff coverage continues after this. It's 21-7, Kannapolis on top. The penalty, as Larry said, assessed on the kickoff. Kannapolis will kick off at the Spider 45-yard line, roughing the kicker. The call, we've got 1 minute and 48 seconds left in the game. I'll tell you one thing, after this 91 season, and now the culmination here in the Western Regional Finals, You love it for one coach, you hate it for the other. It's almost a shame you can't combine these two teams and go to Chapel Hill.
Well, we can consolidate right quick and get them out there, but I tell you what, Coach Smith and his team just had a great season. It's not over yet, but it doesn't look good for them right here.
That one's going way back. No time will run off the clock as it'll be down to the end zone.
And we've seen a lot of close games between these two guys, so we're certainly not going to call them out of this one yet.
Oh, I tell you, we'll forget last year.
Yeah, we got to learn our lesson on that one. But they're going to have to do something quick, no doubt about that. But they do have the speed to make that happen.
Indianapolis' secondary with 3 interceptions tonight. They shut down the passing game and made the big plays. That defense is kind of held. They've been but not broken. But it's not open. Well, they kind of tripped right this time. The one receiver to the left of the line. Everybody in the pattern. Robinson feeling some heat. Pumps it upfield. Incomplete and almost intercepted again. Willie Meisenheimer had his hands all over it.
I tell you, he came about as close as you can to intercepting it without hanging on to it, Randy.
Well, in case you're wondering, yes, TV13 will be in Chapel Hill next week, covering one of these teams.
Do you think we can get there without getting lost?
Well, it's just up 85 there. We're going to make one turn.
We can find that one.
We better start Wednesday, though. Well, speaking of that, we will have one more headliners on the season, 8 o'clock. Join us. I know you will.
I think we'll draw some interest on that one.
We got movement on the line against the Spiders, and I believe that's going to cost them 5 yards.
Just a little anxious to get that one going. And I tell you, Indianapolis was able to come out the second half and has really shifted the momentum of this football game and has played well on defense, and they were able to make those big runs on offense that they weren't able to get off in the first half.
The thing about it, just sitting there realized it was 7-0 at halftime, Concord leading. And they looked to have momentum going into the half, and I guess you could say Indianapolis was saved by the bell at halftime because Concord was moving the ball, that offensive line looking great.
It really did, and it looked like they had most of the momentum had swung their way at the end of the first half.
Robinson with a play fake on the slant thrown behind the receiver up at about the 25-yard line.
Those extra points, I tell you, that really made it tough when they got that last touchdown for Concord to come back because it makes it easier for the defense to play. We've said that all year. With the lead, your defense can loosen up and just play a little bit more reckless.
Well, if Indianapolis can hang on, they will go to Chapel Hill for the second time in the last 3 years. Last time, they brought everything back to Bears County. Tony Jones, Ben Johnson, Barry Lipscomb, some of those seniors that remember. I think they want to get back there. There's a little reverse play, and Graham hit. As Indianapolis had that one pretty well snuffed out. Number 61, Grady Hardiman.
They did. And Indianapolis defenses, they really have come on this half and played extremely well.
I'm not sure what the coach is. They're trying to get their guys to see a little bit of confusion there. And they finally get McKnight. He comes over to the sidelines.
You know, I think some of the talk certainly all week that I've heard is that it was going to be tough for Concord to come out here and beat Indianapolis again 2 times with 2 teams this evenly matched. It looked like they had picked up that momentum where they left off that first half, though.
Well, let's see what happens here in the final minute of the game. Indianapolis 21, Concord 7. We'll be back. We've got 59 seconds left in this one. It's 4th down, 15. Final play of the season, perhaps, for the Concord Spiders. About to unfold. Robinson being flushed out of the pocket. Can does he throw? That one is
Randy, I think it's intercepted.
Ken Clowney finally got him an interception on the night, or got a hold of the football, and it will be Indianapolis football at any rate.
I think the ball was really kind of knocked loose and just fell into the lap right there.
Indianapolis, they are Brown Wonders. are going to be your 1991 Western Regional 3A champions. They will go to Chapel Hill next week to meet the High Point Andrews Red Raiders.
And it looks like both coaches have talked about that's going to be a handful.
Red Raiders, a 4A team that's playing 3A, so they're kind of like Brown, a big 3A school.
And Coach Harding talked about that they are really loaded with speed.
Final minute of action. Kannapolis up the middle, loose football, and who's got it? Nobody yet. I think Kannapolis somehow got it.
Well, that thing came out of there like a shot.
We will have post-game interviews for you. We'll have a TV13 Player of the Game selection. And while we have a moment, I personally want to thank E.C. Smith and everybody here at Concord High School. So congratulations for the one Jim Dandy season.
It really has been, and they have really made us feel welcome and just put on a great show this year.
And class folks, they really are. You know, he's hurting inside right now, as is his players. They win with class, they'll lose with class tonight. But then they really lose.
Well, they haven't lost anything this year. They're just down on the scoreboard right now, but they've done a great job this year. And right now, I think you look out on the field, and the players are shaking hands, and a lot of good sportsmanship going on out there.
As we got an injury, and that's Taurus Johnson, I believe, is injured. He's being helped off the field, so we'll step away here in the final 30 seconds of the game. We understand that is the game. As the clock was running, Kannapolis A.L. Brown Wonders will go to Chapel Hill as the 91 Western 3A champions. Look at the celebration. It's bedlam out there. Happy young men. You talk about determination and able to come back, defeat. What a program, Bruce Harden. What a job.
Well, they were. Both these teams went into the playoff and just have played so well in the playoffs. I guess the sad thing is, after the first Concord Kannapolis game, we knew that both teams were going to continue playing. Now, one of them's got to hang it up, but they have just both had super seasons this year.
Look at that. What a show of sportsmanship. Congratulations, not only to A.L. Brown, but to the Concord Spiders as well. We'll have our post-game program coming up very shortly here when we come back. A.L. Brown, a 21-7 winner. As we return for some post-game comments, let's go field side right now. Here's Larry Mason.
Larry Mason, along with winning coach Bruce Harding and our player of the game, Keenan may be one of the most important trophies of the season. I don't know, but it sure is a nice one. It says Sundrop Player of the Game, NC North Carolina High School Athletic Association 3A Regional Finals going to Chapel Hill next week. Listen, congratulations. That's a nice one. You've been on the edge of getting that one all year long. We've been looking for you to have that big game all year long, and you've had some big ones, but do you feel like this may have been one of the biggest for you?
Yeah, this was a big game for us because we determined who went to the state championship.
It was, and were you trying to put the fact that this was maybe a Concord game out of your mind and just go out and play the ball game knowing that it was one that was going to take you to Chapel Hill?
Yeah, I think the team just wanted to come out and play hard, you know.
What kind of changes did you make, if any, at halftime? Because I thought the momentum had kind of swung to Concord. Did you say anything to the players at half?
I told them that I didn't want to put my uniform up. I want to go to the hill.
So you wanted to get it washed and play one more time. On the big run, what play was that down there where you made the big run that set up the touchdown?
That was a 48 toss.
And then you were able just to cut that back and outrun everybody down there to the 1 yard line, although Canada was able to run you down there and you scored down here on this end. You kind of set this one, that one up for Barnes, and he set this one up with you. Y'all did a good job. Listen, congratulations. I have to say, I know your dad, and I told you I was glad you take your looks after your mom. He may not come by and work on anything at the school now. Congratulations, Keenan. Coach?
Hey.
That's a big one.
All right.
That's a good one to have, I know.
There you go.
It's amazing when you look over there.